Alright, guys, hear me out. Peace to you, by the way. How do you see education? Like, for the most part, since we're kids, we're learning every day. We're learning different things, and through the knowledge that we get, we learn how to go about life. You know. Now, sometimes we're taught things that are really not important for us, whether just generally speaking, not important, or other not important to learn in life, right? And I mean, we go through, grade one, grade two, grade three, grade four, or standard one, standard two, standard three, standard four. We learn many things, and throughout that time, there are things that we completely forget, and there are things that we still remember. You look into history like old Europe, whereby people would come to the house of the said individual or the student and teach them one to one. And it would normally be things that at that time were considered very important, philosophy, language, or mathematics, for example, chemistry, I'm not saying like things we learn today aren't important. I would say we have more options, but I feel like attained knowledge today is more complicated. Obviously, I mean, like, okay, you have all these options of saying, okay, I want to learn this semester, I want to learn that semester, and you're given many like 1, 2, 3, just for the possibility of you maybe getting into that particular thing, field, or subject, whatever the case is. Now, I'm pointing to old historical European schoolage to the modern day homeschooling. I know some people don't like that, and the reason being, there is no social life. Like, you look into high school or college, university, whatever, and you have friends. Sometimes, some people, you have friends with all these like social clubs, and that's one of the beauty of high school or university. You have all these social clubs, you connect with people, and I suppose that would be the only okay, not only, but like one of the benefits that you get in high school or college or university. You have social groups, you have people who guide you through your academic career or academic life. You experience a lot of things on your own. However, like, people would argue to say that homeschooling has that restrictive state or other nature, in the sense that you don't get to meet people, you don't get to make friends, or for the most part, you don't get to experiment. But I think that depending on the type of homeschooling, like, sometimes you have people who like travel around the country, and you get to experience things, for example, in a car, like, or in an RV. Obviously, for those who don't have RV, there's many other technological things today that you can experience and learn. For example, you have what's it called, augmented virtual augmented reality, where you can learn something simply by pointing your phone or your tab or whatever to like open space, kind of like Pokemon Go. So, and for those people who say homeschooling is better, and their opinion would be because it avoids the whole hormonal, sexual, whatever, young kids moving too fast into something that they're not ready to do, or learning something. And like, that's another thing. Homeschooling, you have the ability to control what your kids are learning, not like public school or other private, whereby the syllabus is saying they should learn this, they should learn that. You as a parent know and have the power to say, you know what, I will only teach you this when you're ready. Because you look at high school or like elementary, kids are being taught about sex health or whatever, sex education, when they're too young. And kids being very, very what's it called, curious, I want to try that out. you know. And I mean, the first thing they're like, oh, it's good. So homeschooling tends to avoid that because some parents don't want that. You have families that are very conservative and they don't want their kids to move fast in something that they're not ready to do. And because of that, you look at today's society, you have rampant kids at the age of what, 13, 14, 15. Not saying that this is what they get from classes, but they see stuff, they learn things like, okay, let me try that out, you know. But going back to education, I really think that, like, okay, high school, like public school, is good. Yes, you get to have friends and everything. However, for the security of a person, or rather, a young individual, I would say like homeschooling is better because you can set the syllabus. You can tell them to read. You can give them the joy of reading, the beauty of reading, the passion of reading. You give them both. Like they can just choose. I mean, yeah, sure, you get to be a bookworm and you get to be very introvert. No, not necessarily true. It's a way of honing more, I guess, intelligence, or rather more knowledge, so to speak. And it's you get to acquire more knowledge apart from the distraction of social life, because then again, in high school you have all these dramas and everything. Not to put that out there, but I mean, comment if you agree with me on this. There is advantage to public school and private school, as is homeschooling, especially with today's technology. But yeah, I guess the only disadvantage is that you probably might not have that social life, I guess, like with friends and everything, But again, you could probably go to the park or somewhere and meet people. I guess in a way it's kind of like the whole online classes in today with the COVID going on. It's pretty much the same thing. Well, slightly different since you're actually sharing that with other people on the computer. But yeah, I feel homeschooling has a good benefit, especially for those families that are very conservative and want to teach their kids about like morality and ethics and everything, and to teach self-constraint and discipline. But yeah, if you agree or other like this, comment your view, share, and yeah, get back to me.